Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 50, and today's date is our birthday. I'm just going to throw that out there. Well, it's a little later than our birthday, but we're officially 1 year old, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo, also known as Jimbo Slice 23. Happy birthday, Withering Effect. And for our birthday episode, episode 50, we have our digital producer, Carl, with us.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the show again.
I also want to put out there, when this show comes out, it'll be Jimbo's birthday.
Happy birthday, Jimbo.
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah.
Thank you for the birthday wishes.
They gave you Minecraft 1.16.
Yes.
Should we go ahead and get on to what we've done this week? Carl, what have you been working on this week?
What have I been working on? I've been working on moving house.
No, you haven't. Liar.
And that's gone incredibly well.
Did you move the whole house?
Yeah, I picked it up, put it in a box.
I was to say, how heavy was it?
Nice.
It took an entire lorry to move it. It really
Linda, Carl. They're called Lindas. You can't be talking about them like that.
did. Yeah, not much Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I don't really have internet right now. This is being recorded over some public Wi-Fi right now. Because I don't have internet till the 3rd of July.
Oh,
properly.
No. You were cutting it close, my friend.
I know, that's why when you were going on about, what was it, June 28th you wanted for Ripple?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, Duds, no, I can't, no.
No, stop that. Shut up.
No. I was like, they're going, how can I fix these votes?
And that's when you're
So
like,
that doesn't happen.
July 4th, America.
It's rigged.
Yeah, literally the day after, assuming my ISP actually installs it on that day.
And assuming they're there on time to hook up the internet, because that always seems to be a big issue.
It's going to be close, and I'm not going to be happy if it gets delayed.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, every time I've moved, I've been able to get them there the same day I've moved. The only problem is they usually have to come back 2 or 3 times to fix it.
Don't.
Yeah. But luckily, moving into this house, I said just internet. Don't give me anything else, just internet. But you can get a bundle deal with a phone and TV. No, just internet. And
just give me internet and give it me now.
All we've had to do is take the router back to the store once and get a new router. Yeah, so cutting it close.
It'll be fine.
Sure.
I hope.
What about Jimbo? What has Jimbo been working on this week?
Well, yesterday I went on to the single player world, creative, to work out my home village base, spawn town base.
Spawn town.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go, words.
And it's definitely different than a house. It's something I haven't seen yet. You're gonna familiarize it with a video that's on YouTube. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil that. It's gonna be an early on video. It is, my spawn town house, so I'm gonna build it pretty early. But I love the way it came out. I'm gonna use some of the nether blocks. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but yeah, it's not a house. I'll tell you that right now. It's not a house, but you will see the familiarities.
Definitely a taco shop.
Close, but no. But besides that, I've been busy with my sister's wedding. I was in a wedding this week.
Ooh, fancy Jimbo.
Someone gave me the mic to say a speech, so I had to give a little speech. I don't know if they're like, this guy's on a podcast, we should give him the mic. They really screwed me over.
So you said, I'm Jimbo, also known as Jimbo Slice.
Yeah.
He starts talking about Minecraft.
I gave my nether update opinions.
Yeah. Blackstone, way too noisy.
My sister's like, what are you doing?
That's his one note he carries everywhere with him.
That was about it for my week. Just busy doing that kind of stuff.
I want to talk more about Spawn Town. Carl, are you planning on living in Spawn Town? Ripple Season 3?
Yeah. I usually stay there for a bit, yeah. Just to get, myself sorted out on the server. I don't have a design yet. I'm probably just going to wing it.
Yeah.
Because I had a design last time and it came out pretty good, but I think I can do better this time. Just kind of see where there's space, kind of work from there rather than having a plan with that one, I think.
Yeah.
I have a couple ideas for spawn bases, but it all depends on how long I plan on staying there. And my thing is, if a lot of people weren't going to stay there, because I think last season we were there for a week and like everyone moved out because it was so laggy in that area.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want that again this season. Yeah. To me, it's not worth putting in the time and effort because I build with a lot of concrete. And concrete early is not easy to get.
Yeah.
Especially black concrete. I'm tired of hunting a squid. But yeah, I just wanted to get you to take it. So if you both are going to be there, I'll probably be there a little while too. I know it's going to be at least 2 weeks there.
Yeah, probably a couple of weeks. Yeah, same. Couple of weeks, definitely.
Yeah, I really like how Hermitcraft has done their new season though, because they immediately jumped into, hey, this is where my base is located. But they're all so close together.
Yeah.
That it really works.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of trust in your neighbors.
Yeah.
To build so close to one another. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're all friends. And we are too. I'm just out in the middle of the ocean, so that's what all I'm going to say. Yeah. Yeah, some of us just have these ideas in our head, and we need the perfect spot for it. And it just so happens not to be right next to people.
I did not find the perfect spot for my idea, so I had changed my idea.
Well, you gotta build your idea, right?
Well, my first idea was a very modern build in a jungle cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I had this idea last season on Ripple also, but the jungle was such a laggy spot, and it was so far away, I didn't want to be there. Decoy ended up going to the jungle. And I was like, when I saw how far his tunnel was, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't choose this spot. And then I tried to do that again this season. And again, for some reason, the jungles are just so far away. And I couldn't find a like extreme hills jungle. They're super rare. There's like a little hilly one and a mountainous one. But a mountain jungle is like 20 blocks tall. So it's like, you can't call that a mountain.
No.
But luckily I found a couple islands. And it turns out it was right next to where Link had originally picked. So I was like, hey, Link, Can I be your neighbor? And she's like, no, I'm just picking. She ended up actually changing her location. And so it ended up working out for me. We're all good now. I'm gonna be doing a lot of pirate speak next season.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yar-har. All the pirates. New skin really doesn't fit with that, though.
Oh no, he's going to change it again.
My new skin, everyone's probably seen it by now because I've changed it on the social media stuff. Looks kind of like a train conductor when I was looking at it.
It does.
I was like, oh well. So, but no, I'm not changing it again.
But I hope people like trains.
No, I'm not building trains. There will be a boat. I will build a boat. But other than that, this week I really, really sat down Friday after work and Saturday throughout the day. I didn't stream. I just tried to figure out the motion sickness. Whether it be chunk loading rapidly, I heard that could be a problem. Little screen tears could be a problem and everything like that. And what I've got it down to is, one, Minecraft just makes me motion sick anyways. But the big thing was, if you guys remember my last couple streams, my controller would jerk to the left for no reason. It would just randomly jerk. So I spent a couple hours playing with my controller program because I have to remap the keyboard onto the controller to get it to work, and nothing was fixing this issue. I was like, what the heck is going on? So I finally just put everything back to the way I had it, grabbed a second controller out of a cabinet, hooked it up, and the darn thing doesn't jerk at all, and I'm not feeling sick to my stomach when I play with it. So I'm thinking the whole jerking motion of the controller was what caused the motion sickness, and I'm hoping to be good now.
Is it like something under the joystick, like the Nintendo Switch, the Joy-Con drift thing? Is it a bit like that?
It probably is, because the one that failed is the right stick, which is obviously your up-down movement camera and stuff. It replicates the mouse, so that stick gets worn out a lot, and I guess I turned to the left a lot, so it started drifting anyways, but that just means I'm going to have to keep a stock of controllers laying around for when that happens.
It's like a box of them go, oh, that one's done, next one.
Yeah, well, it stinks because this is like a really cool color that they kind of stopped making a while ago. I was like, oh, I love it. It's this weird midnight blue one. And now it's just like, well, this controller's worthless now. I should just throw it away. I'd been so mad if I was playing like Battlefield with this controller and we're trying to snipe some guy, then all of a sudden I jerked to the left when I went to pull the trigger. Like, what the heck? What I would do is the main PvP style call out, he's hacking! But no, it's just a broken controller. Anyways, blabbing on with that, should we get into the news?
Yeah.
Not a lot of news. Minecraft 1.16 release candidate had came out. By the time you guys hear this, Nether update's out. So hopefully there's not a lot of bugs.
Yep, yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah. We are talking to you from the future tomorrow, yesterday.
And we predict you are playing Minecraft.
Unless the game crashes, then we predict you're not.
We predict it all went fine.
Yeah. I hope. I need to get this diamond block from Jimbo.
That's true.
Oh, that's gonna take some time.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. But so there were some bugs that they fixed, and they're just small stuff. Fixed issues with nether surface generation, causing issues like floating lava and crimson forests without nylium. Another one is using the stone cutter sometimes can crash the game in certain circumstances. Mob turtle eggs causes the game to crash. Stupid turtles. And crash crash on world startup after playing world in 20W18A. Words are so much more difficult when you're recording them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are the bugs. Nothing crazy, which is probably why we're going to have a smooth launch. Hopefully.
Yeah. There was one little fix they made. Actually a change.
Mm-hmm. Ghasts
can't see you if they're above you unless they hit your eye level. That's when they start firing at you now. So, but once they see you at your eye level, they can then fly up and shoot you from above or wherever. But they cannot see you until they make eye contact. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll make the Nether at least a little less dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, right now, it's really dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There is now a dog barking next door. This was supposed to be a noise-free podcast.
Never.
Anyways, like we said, release date is June 23rd, Jimbo, which is only, 11 days past my guess of June 12th.
I'd calculate that to be correct, yeah.
Pulled out...
I thought you were going to say I calculate that to be May 12th.
He had to pull out all of his fingers and toes for that one.
Yeah, one extra toe.
Which makes me the winner of the bet, even if you include aubni.
Which we don't.
Who...
Yeah.
Which we don't, but no. Aubni guessed, August 5th? So
yeah.
The middle of June 12th and August 5th would be sometime in July. So technically I'm still the winner.
I'm very surprised it's this soon, to be honest. When they said they were going to release a date in a future pre-release, I was like, okay, this is going to be like July 12th or July 15th.
When I saw that message, I went, crap, I did not win this bet.
Yeah, I was very surprised when they came out with a date so close. I was like, really? Really?
But you've been seeing, at least I have, because I have to read the news all the time, is the bug fixes have been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the stuff they're fixing aren't, like, they've straight up said they weren't going to fix mob AI with XP because that was such a big fix, it would delay it even more. You could kind of tell they were picking stuff they knew they could wrap up by a soon date to get this out.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, it's getting close. And then they said that, and I went, crap, it's not coming out anytime soon. But then, like, 3 days later, they said, yeah, it's June 23rd. Yes! 9 diamonds. Actually, I'm not even going to spin them. I am probably just going to name them and hang them up on a wall.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
In Jimbo's base. So we can see them, but he can't touch them.
Odds are those will be non-fortune diamonds, too.
Odds are, because it's the first 9 diamonds of the season.
Yeah, it's got to be my first 9 diamonds, so I'll be down underground. I'll see you guys in a week.
We'll have to have a ceremony for you to hand them over.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We should.
Like a walk of shame type of deal.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It was close. I think I'd have had a way better opportunity if they didn't. There was like one big ad or addition to the Nether 16 or 1.16 when they added the bastions, and that pretty much did me in. And that was late April, I think.
Yeah, you were done then. That was it.
Yep. I was like, there's no way they're going to go through pre-releases, and not that.
Well, see, when I heard bastions, I thought, because usually they like to keep 1 or 2 things really close to release, and they kind of spring it on everybody at the last second. Like, last week, some of the developers were tweeting out pictures of frogs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I can only think of 2 things. 1, frogs in Minecraft. Don't know why. 2 is another one, but I'm not going to say it because it doesn't involve us or Minecraft, and I don't want to spoil it if I'm right.
Ooh.
It deals with a guest we're going to have on later.
Okay.
And now everyone gets it.
Yeah, the frogs were a part of the swamp update, but didn't get voted on. The mountain update won. So I'm kind of curious of all the frog pictures myself. I'm
ready for this mountain update, but I'm worried they're going to throw in like all the other biome updates into 117 and just make it a 117 update. But then I'm like, why the heck did we vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Also coming in 116, or as a way to celebrate 116, Mojang, sorry, I gotta say it right now, Mojang added a 20-minute soundtrack composed by the talented Lena Rain? I can't ever figure out how to say her last name.
I think it's Lena Rain.
It looks like Rain with an E, which is confusing because in that just Rain. But anyways, yeah, so there's a 20-minute soundtrack of that, and she's the composer of Pigstep.
And I think all the background nether music was composed by her also.
That's going to be a creepy soundtrack.
I'm loving all the new music in 116. Really cool. All the new music.
Definitely. So go give that a listen.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
That'll get you guys hyped up. Well, the update's already out for you, so you should already be hyped up. But to get double hyped up, listen to that 20-minute soundtrack.
Double hype.
Yeah. Jimbo, I think you had one more news-related subject before we move on.
Yeah, we got some news today, actually. This will be in the past for you guys listening. But Mixer's now merging with Facebook.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Nah, Mixer's going down the drain, and Facebook is just trying to help save face.
Yeah, big news, not a big move, I guess.
Me and Jimbo, and Carl was on Mixer, too. We were all Mixer people. I loved Mixer. I was on there for years, and it was going really great. I loved all their features. They were miles ahead of Twitch, functionally. Like, it wasn't even close when you talked about the lag. And I know Twitch has this new super hyper speed lag reducing thing, and it's still nowhere near Mixer's ability early on.
That low latency, too.
Yeah. When Mixer was still called Beam, their low latency was destroying everyone, and it still would destroy Twitch now. That's how good it was. And the interactive buttons were awesome. The idea for Sparks was awesome. But I noticed when the creators left, there was a severe lack of interest. And I don't mean that in viewers and creators. I mean, like, in their own company. It was like, status quo, keep it. It's like, no, you can't do that because Twitch is the big bad dog on the corner. They saw Mixer had some talent and great ideas. So Twitch upped their abilities. And now Twitch just firmly put their foot down and said, no, we're top dog. You can't take it. And now Mixer is moving to Facebook. And I'm sorry, Facebook, but unless you're over 40, like, no one uses Facebook anymore.
This is true.
Yeah, I know a couple streamers.
We're going to get so many emails now.
Probably. I'm trying to, like, I know a couple streamers who moved to Facebook Gaming, but I think they were literally there a month before they quit.
It's just not the platform for it, is it?
It's not.
It's just, Facebook has too many things going on with inside it that it's confusing. Everything. I was on Facebook earlier for, like, the first time in probably 6 months, and I couldn't find anything. I'm like, what is this design? And I think Facebook video is so sort of in there somewhere. You know, if a product has a single use to it, like Twitch has a single use, YouTube has a single use. The problem with Facebook is the more they add to it, the more complexity they add, and the more people are just going to go, no, I'm out.
Yeah, what is Facebook nowadays? It's a marketplace sometimes. You know, it's a little all over the place now.
It's trying to be everything. It's trying to be a social network. It's trying to be eBay. It's trying to be Twitch.
Walmart.
It's trying to be
internet.
YouTube. Yeah, it's trying to be everything. And I think what we've seen, the companies that have succeeded long term, or the services that have succeeded long term, have been a single purpose product that people can understand quickly, and that's all you need. Facebook is too big for its own good.
Yep.
Yeah. Not to take anything away from them, because they did perfect social networking.
Yep.
But as someone who's got social anxiety, creeps me out. The best feature Facebook ever created was to remind you your friends' birthdays. Because I can't remember birthdays to save my life. Like, I forgot how old I was 2 weeks ago. So, and then my sister just messaged me today. It's like, hey, what are we going to get Dad for his birthday? I go, wait, holy crap, when is that? Because I was like, am I late for this or something?
Is that how Jimbo knows it's his birthday?
Yeah, I go on Facebook and check.
Yeah. Every
just
day.
So happens to land on the Nether update this year.
If my birthday wasn't so close to Christmas, I'm pretty sure I'd have trouble remembering it too.
Yeah, same.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's where the 23 comes in, actually. June 23rd, Jimbo Slice 23. Just a little note for you guys.
That's where the verses come in with Duds, because I'm taking on Santa Claus every year.
Yeah.
I forget Carl's basically the same distance to Christmas as I am, but on the other end.
Yep, 22nd.
Ah.
We're right there. Me and Carl are like birthday brothers.
All around Christmas.
Now my birthday reminds me of the Nether. Great.
It will forever now, too.
Yep. Just gonna think, them hoglins aren't so bad.
Every birthday, I'm just gonna send Jimbo a hoglin.
Oh, no.
Gonna put one in his base every year.
Those things are vicious.
I know.
You don't want to come across too many of them. Have your shield. Get a shield ready.
Psh, I'm gonna run away like a scared player.
Or you can have that warp fungus. Throw it down. They'll run away.
I wish you could hold that and it'd be effective.
Yeah, I don't think it is. You definitely gotta put it down. It makes it a little more difficult.
We're dragging on here a little bit. Should we get into the listener comments? Because there were a couple listener comments this week.
Yeah.
Jimbo, you have two, so I'm going to let you go ahead and read one first.
Okay, yeah, we have one from Rebel JC. Said, with vast majority Minecraft content being published on YouTube, why the decision to make a podcast? Pretty good question.
Well, we're on YouTube, right, Carl?
We are on YouTube. We have a new YouTube channel just for the Withering effect now.
Yeah.
With our birthday, we decided to make some changes and kind of bring everything under the Withering effect umbrella. So you'll see in the show notes that there's a new link to our YouTube channel. And I think what I'd say is that if you look at Minecraft podcasts, there's not actually that many of them that I would consider to be really good.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few good ones. There's a few that have kind of done a couple of episodes and then not done any more. But if you look at like the top tier of Minecraft podcasts, there's not actually that many of them. Where if you look at YouTube, there are hundreds of thousands of YouTube creators doing Minecraft. And I think, obviously, I look at the analytics constantly, and it's only when we have a high-profile guest on that we get loads of views on YouTube, because they're more likely to link to the video version than they are to the audio version, because it's easier because it's in one place rather than on all these different podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Where if you look at a normal episode, the video version won't get that much, where the audio version will get a lot. And I think that's kind of the difference that you see. That's the reason why the show is on YouTube as well as on podcast, to give people that option. But I think it's basically just saturation. The YouTube is saturated with Minecraft content, where podcasting isn't actually that much if you look at it.
Yeah, it's always the issue with, especially a small-time Minecraft YouTuber, is getting that, that moment to really, grow.
Yeah.
I think we got lucky. We all got to find each other on the Ripple Effect. It helps, but still, to get to another tier of Minecraft YouTubing is very difficult because, like you said, it is saturated. And the podcast, it seemed to make a lot more sense because, there isn't not many good ones. I didn't even listen to the Spawn chunks that much until Duds told me about it. And yeah, that's the only one I could find at the time. So yeah, it's pretty clear decision just to do it.
For me, it's completely different than what these guys. I'm not gonna high praise myself or anything, but I was getting really burned out on YouTube and Twitch. So I was like, what's some easy Minecraft content I can make? I was like, a podcast. That's easy. I could talk about Minecraft for an hour. It is not easy. If it wasn't for Jimbo and Carl helping me out with the show would have died last Christmas.
Nearly did.
I'm 100% serious. It nearly did. But these guys have been awesome, and we do put in a ton of work. Carl definitely puts in a ton of work behind the scenes. You guys should go watch his video about all the stuff he does.
Yeah.
For me and Jimbo, it's mainly coming up with topics and learning how to talk to each other really well, which we still don't do that well.
No, I'm still working on it.
Topics are always hard for us because we want to stay relevant, but honestly, we get tired about talking about the same things over and over again. So if you're a part of our Discord, you're always saying, hey, do you guys have something you want us to talk about? Something like that. Because topics are always hard. I mean, it's super easy when there's big snapshots and a new update coming out, because obviously we're going to talk about that. But like these last couple weeks, the snapshots and pre-releases have been really small bug fixes, and it's like, well, we really can't talk about the Nether update much more. But luckily, we've had a lot of very nice guests come on.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Guests really help out.
I think with a podcast as well, I mean, you've got to think about a YouTube video when you're recording it or planning it. You've got to think about the audio, the visuals, and everything like that, and graphics and music and all that kind of stuff. Where here, it's we get into a Discord call, we record our audio, we stop, we edit, we publish. Although it's hard to come up with topics and keep talking for what is essentially what it can be 2 hours.
Well, me and Jimbo, we did this last episode with Logic. The amount of time we talked was over 2.5 hours, including getting ready for the show, talking about how we were covering it, then talking to Logic, telling him how the show goes, explaining the notes and stuff, then doing the pre-show, regular show, post-show, then talking about, hey, this is how we do the Audacity file, send it here, and then me and Jimbo talking about the editing stuff. It's really close to 3 hours. You're sitting here talking non-stop.
Yep, all the prep work and stuff.
Yeah, podcast's not so easy, but to me, like Carl said, that it's a very niche platform, but at the same time, it's not a saturated platform.
Yeah. So
if you can find your niche, you really do have the chance to expand and grow, and we've been lucky within a year to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I always believe, if you can establish yourself early on that platform, success is almost, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people kind of, when they think about making content, they kind of ignore podcasting. Quite a lot of people, they go, oh, YouTube, or I'm going to stream on Twitch, or, things like that. And I think podcasting has kind of been under the radar for a long time. But I think with commutes and people wanting extra content, or when you're doing the grind in Minecraft and you just want something to listen to, I think it's a really powerful sort of platform. And I think, it's something that people shouldn't ignore. And for us, it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times listening to the Spawn Chunks at work saved me from a really dull day. And now it seems like the more I dig, the more and more I'm finding really awesome podcasts to listen to during the day, and some of them are Minecraft related. So it's really cool to hear other people's opinions than ours, because we sit here, me and Jimbo, just dealing with our own words for a full week. Like, man, I'm tired of listening to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to get those kind of different perspectives on the game. And if you look at the Minecraft podcasts that there are, they all serve a slightly different target audience.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some more kind of like, you've got free flow ones, you've got some that are quite rigid, you've got some that are quite, entertaining, and it's kind of like it all serves a different section of the audience, and I think that's really good. So whatever kind of podcast you want to listen to about Minecraft, there's one there for you, and that's really cool.
For me, like, we have a news section and we talk a lot about the news, but I wouldn't consider us a news podcast. I'd consider us a hangout podcast where, yeah, the news is a topic we talk about, but I think like Block of the Week's the most fun I have when planning the podcast. I love trying to come up with ideas to improve the stuff you guys are talking about.
Sometimes it's really hard.
It is really hard sometimes. You guys choose some weird things like cake. How am I supposed to improve cake?
I put that in for a joke. Because for people who don't know, I choose the blocks for Block of the Week. And sometimes I just throw one in there for a laugh. And 9 times out of 10, they end up winning. And it confuses me.
Yeah, it backfires.
Well, not for me. I don't have to come up with things to improve it.
Yeah. I was so scared about the redstone torch. I was like, that's going to win. And you can turn it on and off maybe by clicking it. And then I go, wait, that breaks a lot of redstone contraptions. That can't work. And then I was just like, how am I going to... Bluestone. No, you can't do that.
Don't be too loud, duds. People are listening to this. Next time redstone torch comes up,
see,
probably going to get voted.
Carl has this giant spreadsheet of all the blocks of the week, and he's noted which ones win, which ones lose, which ones have been in the middle. So, Carl, redstone torch disappeared off the list.
So next week, redstone torch.
No! Dang it! Oh, I got an improvement from one. I'm not going to say it, so... Haha.
Vote for that, everyone.
Anyways, we're going to get on to a comment from Aubni. And Aubni says, you've already... Wait, I can't read tonight, guys. I am so sorry. You've already got to have, within your first year, a Minecraft developer and a member of Legacy SMP as guests on the show, which is amazing. Yes, it is. Didn't think that ever happened. GG's to Carl for making it happen.
Yeah, that's big.
You know what? When you ask people to come and be a guest on a podcast, you'd be surprised once you can actually get their attention, because they're all busy people. So sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah.
But when they actually read the email, or however we contact them, you'd be surprised how often they say yes rather than no. I've never had anyone say no.
We've had people not return the email, though, right?
I'll start writing down names, Carl, and you can start emailing.
That's true. We've had people who haven't responded to the emails, that is correct. But no one's come back and said, no, I don't want to be on that. You know, everyone who's replied has gone, you know, we have to work out a few things with timing and things like that. But they'll come back and they'll go, that sounds like fun, let's do it. So you'd be surprised how many people will actually come on a podcast. And I think, isn't part of Aubney's comment about hermits?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's says, one of his questions.
Do you think you will eventually get a hermit as a guest? And if so, when do you think this could happen?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, obviously Carl's working on it. I don't get my hopes up on guests because obviously people are really busy on YouTube and stuff. And I don't ever want us to feel like we're bugging them to be on the show. And I also really like when a guest comes on and it's like, hey, I've actually been listening to your show, because it makes our job a lot easier.
Yeah.
It gets me excited. Like, we've had a guest say, yeah, we've been listening to you for months. And it's like, holy cow. So this is going to be a fun show. You understand how the show works, and we can just roll with it. So, yeah. I think we could get a hermit, definitely. Which hermit? I don't know. I don't think it matters. They're all great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm rooting for you.
But don't forget, there's also so many other great guys, like Logic from Legacy. I don't know why I'm blanking on words tonight. It's such an amazing guest. He was so cool.
We've had Cass on, we've had YD on, we've had Aubni, you know.
Yeah.
People from all sort of levels of Minecraft content creators, and they're all great people. They've all got great things to say. So, yes, getting the big names helps us reach new audiences. But in terms of quality of podcast episode, all of these people that we've had on have been great. It doesn't matter whether they've got 200 subscribers or 71,000 subscribers. You know, it doesn't matter. It's have they got something to say? And it's been yes so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have topics that are penciled in for previous guests for when they want to come back onto the show. Like, there hasn't been a guest that we haven't liked having on the show. They've been great.
Yeah.
The last part of Omni's question is, did you think the show would get that big that quickly? And the answer was no. I honestly didn't think we'd make it past 10 weeks.
Especially once you get the guests, to kind of, even the smaller guests, it helps push it out there a little bit more. But the ideal is to get bigger guests and try to get your name out there a little bit more. And Carl's working on it.
It's all sort of...
Carl's working on everything, guys.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what I'm working on. But
we don't even know.
Keep it quiet. Don't let them know. But yeah, it's baby steps, isn't it? It's just it's a bit like YouTube. You create some content, you get some smaller guests, that gets you into more communities, and then you get bigger and you get bigger guests. It's all that kind of thing. But I think it's also about consistency. Bar about a few weeks last year, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks we didn't have a show last year, but one of those was towards Christmas. So obviously we did a few episodes, and then we did a best of in January. And I think if you look at 50 episodes, we've been pretty consistent on releasing them. And I think that's another thing. You become part of people's week. They think, oh, it's Wednesday, the Withering Effect's out, or oh, it's Monday, the Spawn Chunks is out. It becomes part of their week, and if you're not there, they'll be disappointed because that's part of their routine now. And I think the more people who listen to the show, it becomes their part of their week as well. I mean, if you look at the analytics, it's always growing, which means people are coming in at a certain episode and they're staying 9 times out of 10. For some people, this show won't be what they're looking for, but for the majority of people, it looks like it is. And consistency is key to that. And I'd always say that to people, that if you're trying something, try and be as consistent as you can with it, which is what I'm not doing right now with YouTube.
Same.
Yeah, same here.
Once Ripple Season 3 starts, we're all going to be pretty on top of that.
Like what podcast?
We're going to be busy bees.
My biggest analytic that I enjoy watching, I know a lot of people can measure success by how big of a guest and stuff you get on, and that is great. I love the fact we're getting big enough to be recognized by even bigger people who want to spend their time with us. But the analytic I bug Carl about every week is, what's our weekly audience size?
Yeah.
When we hit 100 weekly audience size, I went, okay, the podcast is not a failure anymore. Because the weekly audience size was tripling my YouTube weekly audience size. So I went, we're doing something right. Let's keep going. And then we hit 200 weekly audience size. And I went, okay, so those people who liked us before are still with us. And now we've got word of mouth spreading.
Yeah.
And then we hit 300 audience size. And that's when I went to Carl and I said, we've made it. It's not a huge number, but it's a number to show that we have the sticking power now, and people are listening consistently, and literally brought a tear to my eye going, this is where my focus needs to be from now on. Yes, I like doing YouTube, I like doing Twitch, but this podcast, and that's one reason we got Jimbo, that's one reason I let Carl do his thing. I don't have to tell Carl really anything. Carl's just like, Duds, stick to the script.
Read my script.
Yeah, do it.
And now it's hovering around 400. So
right, and it's almost on a regular basis. We can count when is it going to hit our next milestone. And like you said, it helps that we're regular and we're on schedule. Jimbo has been a very rock steady co-host for us.
Definitely.
Bringing his note every week, laying it down.
I'd never forget my note.
He never does.
Forget it.
Sometimes he'll forget his eye, but not his note.
No, my eye's not going anywhere.
It doesn't wander a little to the right?
Maybe I can encode the note into my eye.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. Now we're on to something.
But, yeah. Omni, the answer was, no. We never thought you'd get here. At least I didn't. And this was an idea I just threw out on Twitch. And I think both Carl and Omni just bugged me like, hey, when are you going to do that? And I was like, when I think of a name. And that was just my easy way to put it off as, I'm not doing it. Then the name was said, and I went, crap. I guess we're going with this.
Yeah. And then I DM'd you and went, I'll do all the boring stuff.
The second Carl said, I'll do all the boring stuff, I went, I'm in.
Boring to some people. Good, fun for me, but boring for some people. I love all that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can see where you would like that stuff, because I would like that stuff too. To me, the stressful thing is writing up the show and hoping it's going to be a good show. Mm-hmm. There's many times I've wrote up a show and I went, this show stinks. Jimbo, we got to come up with something on the fly. And he's been there. Yeah. We've talked about it. We've come up with something. If you guys aren't Patreons, you really should be, just for the monthly, what do we call it?
The half stack.
The half stack. The variety show. That's the word I was looking for. Because a lot of that's Jimbo coming up with crazy topics, and they are fun topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, something relatable for everyone. Mm-hmm. I'll try to think of something fun.
It's basically Jimbo's little podcast within the podcast.
Hey, Jimbo.
Like to think of it that way.
Yeah, I'll do the main show. Most of the part, the pre-show and post-show are on the fly stuff, and I'll write out the main show, and then Jimbo will fill in if I'm, for some reason, maybe it just slipped my mind to write it out, or I got super busy. Jimbo will jump in and he'll do the main show. But for the most part, he's been on that variety show the last 2 times and killed it with fun topics. So
yeah, it's been really cool, that show. Really cool. I love the employment stories from the last one. They were really good.
Yeah.
Really entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty good. I do want to say, before we jump off this topic about how we grow so quickly, is a lot of props to Carl in advertising, too. Mm-hmm. How he gets everything out on time to let everyone know, what the episode's about, and on a couple of different platforms, actually.
You'd be surprised how long I spend looking at keywords and stuff.
Oh, jeez. I forget to tweet out that I put a video out. That's how bad I am. So, yes, I'm very glad Carl's in charge of that. Mm-hmm. But let's also not forget Decoy. Decoy, who couldn't be with the show tonight. We thought we were recording yesterday, and we ended up changing it tonight. So let's not forget Decoy, because I think Decoy's music puts a level of professionalism on this podcast that I would never have been able to think of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He does an amazing job. And even when I say things about music and I'm not making sense, he knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, Decoy, I want this music. I don't know what it is, but I want this music and it's in my head. Make it. And he just makes it. It's great.
I read your mind.
Well, see, and I remember him coming to us with the first introduction of, like, here's the podcast intro music. And he was like, I wanted to go for a very sitcom talk style from like the 90s or 80s or something like that. And I stood, I go, yeah, that's it. That's great. But it doesn't sound Minecraft-y. Mm-hmm. And he went, hold on. And threw it together, and it's the sound we have now. But then I went, wait, could you throw a wither sounding effect in there? Just because it's the withering effect. We kind of need that. And he's like, way ahead of you. Already had it in there. It's like, Decoy's a genius.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and that opening song almost sells you right away on the podcast. It's so catchy.
For me, and the fact that we're like, yeah, Decoy, we're going to try to use this song, but we're going to break it up for this new segment. He's like, no. And he just writes new music. Like, it's crazy. I hope everyone's taking advantage, right? There's one of those Patreon things where you can download Decoy's music, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everyone takes advantage of that and downloading that stuff. It's awesome. I use his music for the intro of Project Moss. It's great. But Jimbo, I think you have one more question. Man, this podcast is actually lasting longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. We got a question from Crock following on Aubni's question. Who would be your ideal guest if you could have any at all? Let you guys. I have my.
Go on, Jimbo.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jimbo.
I'd say Mumbo Jumbo.
I was going to say Grian.
Yeah, Grian would be good too.
Them two together.
I've got 2.
Yeah, man.
And I was going opposite. This one's not a hermit. Neither of these are hermits. And I would like Jeb or Lady Agnes.
Ooh.
There you go.
Going to the top.
Ooh.
Those would be my...
Yeah. Oh, what? Hey, I'll raise you.
You can't raise me a Jeb.
Notch.
I mean, we know people at Mojang, so
I do not want to get.
could happen.
I don't want to get King B Dubs in any trouble. No, just because those are the faces you see on the Minecons and stuff. So I feel they have intimate knowledge of what they can and can't say on the fly.
Yeah.
And King B Dubs was awesome. We sent him a list of questions, and he pretty much said yes to every question. There were a couple that were kind of joke questions, and then he picked up on that really quick. Like, when's the release date? Another update.
No, he told us. The creeper got in the way, but he told us.
Yeah, we didn't get audio.
The creeper got away.
He didn't. I don't want to get him in trouble. He didn't.
He didn't tell us at all.
No.
We'll keep his real answer quiet, and maybe we'll release that as an Easter egg later, because I remember what he said. But no, it was nowhere close to. He didn't give us any hints or anything like that.
No.
Nah.
Awesome guest. But yeah, I think I'd go Jeb or Lady Agnes. Especially like the week leading up to Minecon. All stressed out and stuff. You're going to let something slip? Let something slip.
Ooh, yeah.
But that's kind of it. Carl, did you said green. That's right.
Yeah. I just think Green would be really like entertaining as well, and he's kind of part of all kind of the shenanigans going on Hermitcraft. He kind of came up with the mayoral campaign and all that kind of stuff. I just think he'd be really entertaining and a really cool guest.
I agree.
Yeah, he comes up with some good stuff like Tag. I like to know how he comes up with these simple games that just stick and work so well.
Say the full name, Jimbo.
Come on, Jimbo.
Tag Electric Boogaloo.
It's Tag 2 Electric
Tag
Boogaloo.
2 Electric. Yeah, I like Tag 1 better.
It was easier to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of ends our listener comments, which basically took up the entire podcast.
So, bye, guys.
Yeah.
No, we're not going yet. We're actually going to hop into our Discord ad. This week, it's from Cass.
Is this thing on? I'm Cass, and I'm here to figure out why you have yet to join the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with other Minecraft enthusiasts and the creators of the show. It's also the only place you can vote for Block of the Week. The link to join the Discord is in the show notes.
Alright, again, thank Cass for doing our Discord ad. Again, friend of the show, friend of the Ripple Effect. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And
yes, thank you.
Previous guest. So definitely go check him out. I'm glad how I did that on the fly and you guys all knew to be quiet for 10 seconds. The Patreons who listen live understand.
Yeah, but they're like, where's the ad? Where's the ad? It's on my computer.
I didn't hear nothing.
But let's wrap up the show with Block of the Week. Arguably the best part of the show. I say arguably because there's people saying, you guys always choose the wrong block.
That's just you
right.
saying that.
Yeah, this is true. Anyways, we asked you to vote in the Discord on which of the following blocks Jimbo and I will discuss this week. I guess Carl's going to discuss it too.
Yep.
So we'll see about that. Your choices were smithing table, hopper, and tripwire hook.
And the winner this week is... Smithing table. Congratulations, smithing table. It was actually pretty close between the smithing table and the hopper. Smithing table getting 16 votes, hopper getting 14, and tripwire hook not too far away with 9. It was actually pretty close at first.
I don't think StoneFigure's very happy.
Yeah. I didn't want the hopper to win because that was really hard because I think the hopper is an extremely useful block already. So coming up with a way to make it more useful and not break it is really hard.
Yeah.
Tripwire hook is the one I was leaning the most to because even though I don't have anything in my mind now, I think it would have been fun to sit down in an afternoon and be like, okay, how can we make the tripwire hook better? So that's one. Smithing table 1, and I'm okay with that. Jimbo, do you want to read out your stuff before I go into how I'm going to improve it?
Yeah, I have some things about the smithing table. It's crafted with 4 of any type of wood planks and 2 iron ingots. Can be found naturally in villages, a toolsmith house. Mined with an axe preferably, but you can use your hand. Used to upgrade diamond gear into netherite gear. It's the main function. In Bedrock Edition, smithing tables can be used as fuel in furnaces. Pretty neat. And unlike the anvil, the smithing table costs no XP to use.
Right. So getting into improvements, there were a lot of great suggestions in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going back to one I suggested a long time ago, and that was I want the smithing table to finally be able to add the elytra to a chest plate.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for them to do this for forever, and everyone's like, well, that'd be too OP, having a flight ability and diamond armor and stuff. And I'm thinking, at first I was like, you know what, you're right, that is way too OP. Until I went, mobs can be defeated by a torch. You place the torch down and they can't spawn. They're being beaten by a day one item. Does it really matter that you can fly with a chestplate? I'm still going to die. That's just the way I play Minecraft. I'm still going to get blown up by a creeper with all that gear on.
Yeah, I was hoping Neverite would do that, to be honest, to kind of give it some kind of exclusive feature to be able to have the elytra on at the same time, but that dream didn't come true.
No. I have a feeling we'll see it in data packs. I know there's already data packs where you can combine them, but yeah, I would love to be able to say, hey, if you use an iron ingot on an elytra in a crafting table with a chest plate, instead of it upgrading the chest plate, it just combines the two. So you would have to spend a netherite ingot, upgrade your diamond to a netherite chest plate, and then again use another netherite ingot to add the elytra to the chest plate. So it's costly because those aren't cheap. And it's very much a end game expand the quality of life feature for the game.
Oh, definitely.
But then again, I'm champion for stuff that goes against that for Ripple Season 3. So I'm tired of being everybody's Smurf on the screen.
I did see a suggestion that I liked from J-Man. I know nowadays it's not so much what we can come up with these blocks. The Discord, everyone in the Discord seems to have an opinion about these blocks and how to change it. And it's really cool. It's almost becoming you guys changing it instead of us. But J-Man had a good suggestion of maybe tools except wood and stone require smithing tables. And I was pretty interested by that. Just seems like it would make sense for smithing tables is where you would craft your iron or your tools and armor.
Right.
Whether it would have to be an ore besides the wood or the stone.
I only have one problem with that, though, and that's you're taking that ability away from the crafting table. And that's kind of the one thing Mojang has said. They don't ever want to take away somebody's ability to do it. Now, they've done it, I think, 2 times. Changed where you would work on something out of the crafting table. But that was for smoother functionality. I think it was like banners or something like that.
Yeah, the loom. Yeah.
And that makes sense. That's not a need to have item. Tools and armor, that's need to have. So the fact that the crafting table is still the most versatile table in the game, I'm okay with. I am disappointed in the amount of features the smithing table has, though. I can be on the same page as that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take crafting ability away from crafting table.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind having another station for that. It would make things a little bit more difficult, but I think I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay if they added it to the smithing table. Like, you can do it in a crafting table or a smithing table.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. That's a great idea. Because you're right, a smithing table is where you should do tools and armor and stuff. So as long as they don't take it away from the crafting table, I'm good having either or work.
I think just expanding the upgrade would be, an obvious thing. It's diamond to netherite. Well, what about iron to diamond? What about stone to iron? What about wood to stone? And Yellow Skittle in our Discord said, I want to keep the enchantments to carry over. This seems like an obvious one.
When you're using the smithing table and you upgrade from diamond to netherite, using the smithing table only, the enchantments carry over.
Ah, right. Yeah, so you could...
Only the anvil they don't.
You could do that with iron to diamond then as well. If you get a really good you know, when you go into like an end city, or you go into a dungeon and you find this really good iron axe with like all these different enchantments on it, and you go, well, that's great and everything, but it's an iron axe.
Yeah.
If you could then take that over to the smithing table and upgrade it to diamond and keep all those enchantments, that would be really cool.
I can't remember who mentioned this on the Discord, but I also liked it, and it was the ability to use different minerals and different slots. So maybe you're making, let's use diamond chestplate because that's the easiest thing to kind of visualize. Everyone knows the 6 on bottom and then 2 on top. So you have the middle spot free. What if your 6 on bottom are diamond, but your 2 on top is gold? So you'd have gold shoulders, but that makes your swinging ability quicker.
Ooh.
Because now that armor is lighter up there. Maybe you make the main chest plate gold and your shoulders diamond, and now you can move a little bit quicker, but you hit harder.
Might be interesting.
And you keep the piglins happy.
That would be kind of an awesome thing to do. Imagine switching up your offhand and your regular hand. Maybe you want to be able to eat quickly in the middle of battle, but you want to hit hard, so your on hand holding the weapon, I guess your right hand, would have diamond for the shoulder, and your offhand would have gold. That's a very cool idea. It's extremely complicated, and I don't know how well it would work in the game, but I like that idea. I like customization. That's my favorite thing in video games. Let me be free. But guys, I think that's kind of it for the show.
Yeah.
We had Carl's top likes and dislikes for the Nether update, but I think we're at the time limit, am I right?
We are indeed.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
We can always save that for the post show.
We'll bring Carl on when we go back, because we have our likes and dislikes for the Nether update, what me and Jimbo said, saved.
Yeah.
And our plan is to do an episode down the road where we go over that and think, well, did we get it right or did we get it wrong?
Nice. Yeah. Sounds good.
So before we go ahead and let Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our Patreons who are supporting us on the show. Our milk level Patreons are Aubni, Crock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, and TheOfficialCCL, and viperoustuna and YDYT. If you two would like to get access to the exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, consider joining us at patreon.com/thewithering effect.
If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, not lost somewhere on YouTube. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy, and I have a hair in my mouth. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.